And welcome everybody to a special Thanksgiving episode of the Spillin' It podcast. I'm Ben Boynton, that's Jesse Smith. We have kind of a shorter, special, fun episode for you guys. I kind of bandied some ideas about with Jesse about, we don't want to spend time during Thanksgiving week away from our families recording a podcast episode. Especially myself, my family is traveling from out of town to be here. So when this episode comes out, I'll be with them. And so we pitched this idea of just, like a little bonus episode kind of. We each picked a fun segment akin to how we do at the end of every episode. I think we leveled up both of us on this.
I
I
think we
think
did.
these are
We
two
were
good
cooking.
ones. So we're just gonna play some games, and you guys can enjoy this little pocket-sized episode and whenever you want. And it's gonna come out on Wednesday, but enjoy it whenever during the holidays. Hope everyone has a great holiday. Uh, all that said, we're just gonna launch right into this. My first, I'm gonna go first with my game, which I think is extremely deranged, um, and my best idea yet. So, for
It
those
really is.
for those who don't know, on December 6th, GameStop is holding a trade anything day. So we know GameStop rips you off with trade-ins. And this time they're going to do it with literally anything that you want to trade in. You can trade in one item. They have some exclusions that I didn't fully read because I read enough to see they were mostly jokes, but like they're not going to take your pets or your relatives or anything like that. But to my understanding, pretty much any physical item that you could buy or sell at like a store or something that they're going to trade you in and probably short you incredibly for. But so I asked Jesse and myself to bring 5 items of, I said immense personal value. They don't necessarily have to be, but basically just 5 items of value to us that may not be the most valuable. So, like, we're not bringing a Switch out here or,
Right.
our car or whatever, but maybe 5 things that have more value to us than they might others. And then the other person is going to trade, give them a trade-in value in the spirit of GameStop.
This could get so disrespectful
I
so
think it's gonna
fast.
be fun as hell because I think we're gonna disrespect because I think we're both gonna approach it with like we are obviously gonna lowball each other,
Oh
um,
yeah.
and we're obviously Jesse and I don't have to say this to each other, but we're doing this for the content, so we're not trying
Yes.
to demean personal items. So no, I don't want anybody to think that even if Jesse and I kind of argue, like it's not really arguing, like we're just like having fun.
Oh
Um,
yes.
but I'm prepared to disrespect Jesse with his personal belongings. So, with that being said, I had tons of honorable mentions. I'll probably highlight at the end. But with that being said, Jesse, let's just get into it. What you got for me?
All right. So the first thing I'm going to pull out here is a Nintendo GameCube controller,
Oh,
and
that's
this
good.
one is an original. This is from the OG launch version of the console. It still works, all the buttons, there's no stick drift. They don't make them like they used to. This is a highly valuable piece of video game history. I still use this from time to time when I plug in the old GameCube. Um, it just has the good snap to it. I mean, you can hear it up against my mic. Um, Absolute powerhouse, and you can see it is the original because we do have the GameCube logo up here. This is an absolute powerhouse of a machine.
I'll give you $3 for it.
$3, you know, I'll take it.
I have, but I do love that. I also have a bunch of the. I'm pointing like anyone's in my home, but I also have a bunch of the original ones.
House tour.
Not in this condition. But I have two GameCubes actually. One of them like really doesn't work, but like how are you gonna throw away a GameCube?
No, you
And
can't.
I don't really dig it out very often, but every now and then I get the itch and I plug it in. Great. That's a great item. I wish I could lowball you more, but I know the worth there. Okay,
Yes.
I'll go with my first item here. This is a fine piece of art that I acquired at the Pensacola Palafox Market. It says Garuda I am, and it is some weird hybrid of Groot and Yoda, also wielding the lightsaber, as a Garuda would. It's a beautiful, like one of a kind, handmade art that you can buy at the Palafox Market. Perfect for to really display your varied interests.
I'll give you $5.
$5? Yeah, okay, you know what? That's a pretty reasonable deal,
I'll
Ted.
give
Maybe
you
we're gonna
five
be a
bucks
lot
for the
nicer to each
frame.
other than I thought we would, but that's a pretty reasonable deal. I think I paid like 20, so that's pretty in line with GameStop's policy of
That's
like
a tough return on
it is
investment,
a tough return on investment, but I think that's
especially for
feasible.
art. Isn't that supposed to be what the rich people put all their money into?
Yeah, I don't think it looks like that though.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, item number two for me. This is an
Jesse.
old. This is one of the original Magic bands, the thin one. And
Oh,
if you
it's a
look on the
Magic
back,
band. Okay, I'm like, Jesse, is this like an Apple Watch band? Like, what are you
if
trading
you
in?
look on the back of it, it says Mr. Smith. This is the Magic band that I wore on my honeymoon back in 2016, and this is before they switched to the more modern ones. With the old thin, you put the nice Mickey symbol on there. I'm sure we'll get copyright struck for that, but
Maybe.
this is one that I still believe works if I take it and I try to sign in because it's hooked up to my accounts. But old Magic band.
I'll give you $1.25.
Dollar, can you give me 175 at least?
No. First of all,
Dollar
you don't
50?
know if it works. Second of all, it's got your name on it, and it's
Yeah.
connected to your account. Can you unconnect it?
No.
Yeah, so it's
Not
a
these ones.
bracelet. You're selling me a bracelet.
Yeah, but it's got a Mickey on it, so that's
I
worth
mean,
at least
look, it's a
20.
fashionable piece. It's gonna look great on my 8-year-old son, but I'll give you $1.25.
All right, that's fair.
All right. My next one. Wait till you see the last couple I have. I'm kind of slow playing my best ones. So my next one is this beautiful saxophone playing alligator on Bourbon Street. He's wearing like the most dapper fit you possibly could. This is a way better picture than I thought it was gonna be. He's wearing this like purple fedora. He's got his blues suit on, and man, this man loves him some blues. So I have my Sax alligator for you here,
I'm giving you 45 bucks for that. I can't even lie.
and that's a steal, Jesse, because I paid 14.99. So
Absolutely.
I think you're getting a great return on investment there. And he is so. We were in New
He
Orleans.
he's too cool.
We were in New Orleans, whatever time that was. And usually our joke to each other is what happens in New Orleans stays in New Orleans, but not this guy. He came home.
Not nope, he's got to come home with you. All right. So in our previous episode, we talked about how cool it is to collect cards, and some of those come with some game used memorabilia, whether it be like a patch from a jersey, or sometimes you get like little cuts out of a shoe or something, or yeah. So I have some authentic memorabilia here for you, from one of the greatest track athletes I've ever seen. And this is preserved from the day. And this is my final track uniform from high school.
As soon as you said one of the greatest track athletes I've ever seen, I wanted to be like, what, in a mirror?
It still has from
Wow.
2014 from my last meet, the bib number still on there. Never took it off. Took the jersey off, the singlet off. But from Carmel High School, I have the official last dance of Jesse Smith's track career.
Shit. I was prepared to lowball the hell out of you, but then the number is still on there.
The number goes crazy. Original bobby pins too.
I'll give you 15 for that.
15. All right, I can live with
It's
15 because
wearable. I could even
it is
detach the
Nike.
number and then wear
It
the
is officially Nike.
yeah, that's resale value right there, the swoosh.
Yeah.
I almost it was not on my honorable mentions, but I almost pulled out my NFL media badge. But then I was like, then I feel like I'm flexing. But you actually like competed as an athlete. That is flexing that's worth it. Okay.
Yep, I was a 5'8" state finalist in track and field for discus, which kind of a wild concept. I'm not sure how I ended up there, but we made it.
All right, I'm calling an audible. My original third item was this "Women Want Me, Fish Fear Me" hat that I wore in the last episode, which is why I wore it. But I've decided that what I'm actually wearing on my chest is is funnier to me. I do hate. I'm not a Knicks guy, but I am wearing a Knicks jersey. This is an authentic Landry Fields New York Knicks jersey from 2012. Landry Fields, I think 2012. It's either 2010 to 2012, somewhere around there. Landry Fields was a pretty forgettable NBA player. who is now currently, or at least was, I think he recently was fired, but was the GM of the Atlanta Hawks, which is he's more known for. But he single-handedly and 2K10 association was the best player in the history of basketball for
That is
me.
fair. That is fair.
Averaged about 30, 10, and 10 as the center point of like one of my first 2K dynasty teams. And so I was like, I gotta order his jersey because he's like so good. He was like a second round pick. He was never going to be anything. But like this jersey, this was back when jerseys were affordable. It was like $35. I think I had to custom make it because they weren't selling Landry Fields jerseys. But yeah, so I'm offering you this Landry Fields Knicks jersey.
All right. My cash offer is going to be -$10. You owe me ten
I owe
dollars to
you
take
money.
that.
That's crazy,
You
but
owe me
that's true to the exercise.
you
GameStop would
owe
spit
me
in my
ten
face
dollars.
and put me behind the register for an hour.
If you want store credit, we will break even.
That's fair because this is like the most deranged. Like I own some wild jerseys. Like I wore the Joseph Adai on a different podcast. This
Oh
is
yeah.
deranged.
That is absolutely deranged. You owe me $10, so you're gonna give me the jersey in a crisp Alexander Hamilton.
This is what happens when you give high schoolers access to cash.
That is true. That is very true. All right, my next one. This is
Wait,
actually a
Jesse,
wild concept.
I hate to interrupt you, but we are about to
Oh,
be
that's
forced to
true.
take a break.
We are.
So
Okay,
why don't we come back
we
on
will
the
take a
other
break.
side? You've got two more, I've got two more, right?
Yep.
All right, we'll be right back. And we're back. I interrupted Jesse before the break because he was launching right into his fourth item. But Jesse, go ahead. What's your fourth item you're bringing to GameStop?
All right. Item number four. This is one that's it's interesting because you don't really get these anymore. Everything's digitalized, so they don't really exist. But I actually have a movie ticket stub. Okay.
Oh,
And this movie ticket stub is from February 15th, 2014.
what
Spent
do we see?
$10 on this ticket. This is for the movie Frozen,
Frozen. It's
a
worthless.
Saturday night's showing of Frozen at 9:55 p.m. I'm not sure what demographic this was trying to reach, but the Regal Cinema, this was the first date my wife and I ever went on when we were in high school. I kept the ticket and it felt right at the time, and I'm so happy that I did. She still has hers, unbeknownst to us. Years later, we found out we both kept our tickets. But I still
It's in the
have
pocket of
the
a pair of jeans she hasn't
it's
worn.
somewhere, but still have the official ticket stub, which I think is awesome. Just because one, they don't really exist anymore, and two, the sentimental value on this is through the roof. Obviously.
Jesse, go ahead and turn that ticket around and read me that number on the bottom. No. You need to be looking at the no. Yeah,
Oh,
what's
the
that?
one?
Yeah, that's what I'm offering you as a cent because you need to let that shit go.
No.
I'm kidding. No, don't. I'm taking a crack at the movie, but that's honestly cute as hell. I'll give you your $10 back.
All right, I'll take my $10
I'll give
back
you
for
the
that.
$10 back because that's a
That's
piece of
fair.
history right there.
That
I
is.
also have
He's giving me
um
$10 for our ticket. It was originally $10.
honestly, it's more of a refund on the movie than anything else. But I also have a little bin of like physical tickets. I kept every ticket for everything. So I have like Disney on Ice. I have a bunch of Pacers games. Like I have everything. Movies. I still keep my movie tickets
Oh yeah,
when I have the physical ones. Where
yeah.
do
I
they end
miss the
up?
physical
Who
tickets.
knows? But all right, this next one I know is not going to have as much value to you because you don't drink. However, I have a can of St. Elmo Cola cocktail.
Oh,
They do not sell these cans in stores anymore.
wow.
That you can still buy the St. Elmo's whiskey and make your own whiskey cokes at home, but they used to sell these in cans. It's like if you're watching this and you're like, what is this? It's like a Cutwater or any other like canned cocktail.
Yeah,
Um, it literally you cannot buy it in stores anymore. And St. Elmo's obviously an Indianapolis institution.
absolutely.
Um, and so I'm begrudgingly parting with one of my like three cans that I have because I'm saving them for rainy days. But I feel like GameStop is about to build up my retirement fund. So
Man, I'm wearing my Pacers NBA Finals hat that I got when we went up there to Game 3. And one of the coolest parts was St. Elmo's had cardboard cutouts of all the guys in their windows across their entire building, which if you've never seen the building, the architecture there is actually gorgeous. Food, immaculate, awesome, awesome place. And being an indie boy myself, I'm gonna actually offer you I think what well more than what it's worth. I'm gonna give you $75 for that can.
Wow. Well, that's very generous. Yeah, I mean, it's probably priceless, but I'll take 75
Okay.
bucks.
Okay. And my last one, this is a family heirloom of sorts that was intentionally given to me as a dear family member of ours passed. Ashlyn's grandfather, her grandpa Thule, he was an instrumental person in my life as a young adult. He was able to speak peace over me, unlike anybody else. Knew my love for photography, so when he passed, he gifted me his camera
Jeez.
that he had and recorded so many of their family memories. This thing is in really good shape and still works to this day. Just got to pop some film into it, but all working pieces, original lens, some absolutely incredible camera history here. I am a professional photographer outside of my day job, but this is probably my favorite one that I own.
Damn. You're gonna hate me when you see what I'm bringing to the table. Um, Wow, that's awesome. That's amazing that you have something like that.
Mhm.
It's not from my grandparents, but everybody in my family on my dad's side carries a bag of change in like a Crown Royal bag, which I sound like an
That's
alcoholic now.
awesome.
I promise I'm
No,
not.
no, no.
I'm just like, damn. But and that was just something that like my grandparents did, and so everybody in
Yeah,
the family, even my wife Cheyenne, has a Crown Royal bag. So I love when we're able to kind of keep, and so I have that to remember my grandparents, but I also have an Estes Park golf course, which they lived in Estes Park, sweater that my grandpa had,
yeah.
um, that I've kept and worn. So all that to say is I understand the value of having something like that, and I will offer you. Um, I don't have a ton of money, but I will offer you $500 for your camera.
Thank you. That is definitely, I think, compared to some of the other offers I've gotten, I think that is more than a fair price.
Yeah, I mean, it also looks like it would take some fire photos, so I'm willing to find out.
Based off of what I've seen, it definitely can. I'm looking for the right film for it, but all the mechanical parts are still working on it. It is a beauty.
Well, you took a very different approach to this game than I did based on your last two items. Um, well, my holy grail that I've been saving because I know that this will
If this is
bankroll.
another Landry Field piece of memorabilia, I'm walking off set.
No, Jesse, it's even better. And I bet if you really sat and gave about 20 minutes of thought to it, you would be able to come up with this item. Um, Extremely sentimental. I work in marketing and communications. I don't know when that kind of like, actually, I do. I don't know the exact moment that became my path in life. But I know that it was while I spent time working for the high school radio station in Carmel, 91.3 WHJE, where Jesse and I didn't meet. Obviously, we'd already been friends, but we really cemented our bond even deeper. And actually, where the namesake of the podcast, like where he entered our lives.
Yes.
And so I really wanted to reflect that time of my life. And I had a lot of choices. We had different merch and such. But instead, I chose to go with this poster of myself
Yes.
that I made um, when I was doing my radio show, which was double B in the morning or afternoon, depending on the timing.
Man.
Um, we talked about this on the podcast, I think the first episode, but if you brought a poster of like a band or an artist or a album, Spill would put it up in his office or in the classroom. And so when I graduated, I made two of these. One that I gave him that is now in a landfill somewhere, I'm sure. Um, and then this one that I kept for myself. It says the one and only Double B, WHAE, hashtag Double B gang or die, a phrase that was never uttered in human history. And then it has me making this face over the mic. I can't really
Man,
make
you
that
really
face
haven't
anymore.
aged. That's the craziest part. Like your face
I have
looks,
first. This is what I look like without a beard, by the way.
yeah.
And this is specifically this photo is from the Christmas episode that I begged to be allowed to do, and I'm wearing my mom's ugly Christmas sweater. So this poster, which is still in relatively mint condition, there's little pinholes in the corners, but Vistaprint. Shout out to Vistaprint.
And Vistaprint's it. I'll give you $300 if you sign it.
Okay, I will sign it. You're kind of going back on your word a little bit of not wanting autographs. That's crazy. But I will sign it for you, of course.
You're the exception to that rule. You
And
know
you know what?
that.
I'll even throw in an audio file of the original Double B intro,
Okay.
which won't
I
mean anything to anyone else, but Jesse knows the value.
It means the world to me, and that's all that matters.
Honorable mentions, I had a couple. Obviously, I talked about the Women Want Me, Fish Fear Me hat. Cheyenne and I have matching Funkos of ourselves. I have those because I thought they were going to be it, and then I remembered something else. But these are us,
So
which are
cute.
super cute. I got her Funko for, and then she got me my Funko at a different holiday. Um, I have a Age of Ultron plush throw
Incredible.
that probably was never sold to anyone else. Um, and then there's a sign in the corner of my room. Of this room, you can kind of see it. Maybe if I, yeah, it says "No dream is too far-fetched," but instead of the words "far-fetched," it's the Pokemon far-fetched. Um,
Incredible.
thought about those as well.
I
And then
actually
I
got a
have,
couple on this shelf right here. I'm gonna go grab them.
yeah.
Quick
I guess I'll yap
intermission.
while Jesse goes to get
Yeah.
them. A couple other ones that I thought
Oh,
about.
good grief.
Um, I have a ginormous flag in my game room right now. That's it's a big alligator and it says "fuck around and find out." It used to hang in my living room when I was a single man. Now it does not. Excuse me. Um, and then I don't know. Like I had some ticket. I wish I would have thought more. No, I'm happy with how I approached it. I have some other
Oh,
tickets and
absolutely.
like paper memorabilia and stuff that I could have gone with, but those were my options. Jesse, let's hear your honorable mentions.
All right, so this one's really cool. If you spend any time with me and my wife, you'll know that we're huge Disney fans. Big fan of going to Disney parks and different things. So this was a tour that we got to go on a few years ago, where we got to go to Walt Disney's office. And my wife is big into pin trading, but if you go to Walt Disney's office, they have a drawer full of these pins that you can get that look like their awards that they give out to different staff members. So you only get these pins if you go on the tour, and I left them wrapped in here from the archives. One of the coolest experiences I ever got to see. I absolutely love the city that I live in, and I love Orlando. So you really can't tell the story of this city without Walt Disney and all the things that the theme parks did. So one of the coolest experiences of my life was getting to do that.
Awesome. I think that was fun. I
Yeah,
enjoyed that. I like that we always take a slightly different angle to these games. It makes it interesting.
absolutely. All right, so my segment here, we're just gonna go classic Thanksgiving throwdown right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna do a draft, a
Jesse loves a draft.
Thanksgiving, I do love a draft, a Thanksgiving food draft. All right. But this one, typically, if you've seen the drafts that we've done previously, we do it snake, and we have it where we have a couple picks in a row. We go back and forth, try to make it fair. No, I'm out for blood this time. We are absolutely going to do this as a fixed draft. So
Jesse is
we
out
need
for
to
blood.
determine, I am. Um, we need to figure out who's getting the first pick here. And
Oh,
we're
I should have
pulling
brought my
up Coin
coin.
Flip Simulator.
God, 2025, baby.
Okay. So I will let you call it in the air.
Okay.
You get the call. What are we doing? Heads or tails?
Heads.
Ah!
Yeah.
All right, so Ben gets the first pick of each round from here on out. Five picks each. What is your first overall pick in the Thanksgiving food draft?
Okay, pick one as potato casserole. I don't feel like I really have to. I want to caveat this whole draft. I honestly, one of my hot takes is I think Thanksgiving food is kind of overrated.
Mhm.
Um, so there's Jesse probably doesn't know how free he's probably got this draft. That being said, there are still plenty of great foods, and I love potato casserole, especially like a good my mom's potato casserole that has like breadcrumbs in it. I feverishly anticipate it every year. So I'm going to take potato casserole 1-1.
Okay. At 1-2, I'm going to stay with potatoes, and I'm just going straight up mashed potatoes.
I
Just
was hoping to double
good,
up on starch.
good classic mashed potatoes. If you know what you're doing with some taters, it's game over. Like you have won my heart at that point. So mashed potatoes off the board at 1-2.
Okay, that's a good pick. 2-1. This is kind of a more recent entry for me. I'm shockingly Caucasian, so I've never really like had this at Thanksgiving as much. But I'm gonna go with mac and cheese.
Okay,
Maybe
a
it's
good
not.
pick.
Maybe it's more of a Midwest thing because I just don't remember. I mean, did you guys have mac and cheese at
Oh
Thanksgiving?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, I guess maybe it's my family then, because like we just never really had mac and cheese.
Interesting.
But every Thanksgiving since I've moved here, I've mac and cheese has been there, and it's always slapped, and so it's become a staple of my Thanksgiving.
Absolutely. And you got to have the person who knows how to make the mac and cheese. And
Yes,
honestly, it's
critical.
you need to have a resume and three references to make the Thanksgiving mac and cheese. Like
Hmm.
you cannot just go in there freelancing and be like, "Oh yeah, I can make it." No, 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 no. You need to show what you can bring to this table, literally and metaphorically speaking.
Hmm.
You need to know what you're doing.
I need to see
Because if
that
that goes
CV.
wrong, yeah, absolutely. All right, so I'm going dessert early here, and I'm gonna be real with y'all, Chief. I'm not a huge pumpkin fan. I'm not anti-pumpkin by any means, but there is nothing better to me that is quintessential fall flavoring than an apple pie. I'm going apple all the
Oh,
way.
this is the worst thing to ever happen to me.
So,
I
mashed
should have taken
potatoes,
it.
apple pie for me.
I should have taken it 2-2.
I knew
2-1.
you would, so that's why I went and swiped it in.
Oh, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Oh my God. My whole draft was depending on apple pie. Okay, all right, that's all right. We pivot. Who? I doubt it's on your list, but now I feel like I gotta fill out my plate. I'm taking ham.
Oh,
Um,
good pick, good pick.
I'm allergic to turkey, so I eat ham
That is
on
your protein.
Thanksgiving. I'm not always a huge, like, giant, like, ham by the slice, but on Thanksgiving it does hit. So
It does hit different.
I'm gonna take ham and rethink my life choices that led me to maybe I should have waited on mac and cheese. I don't know. I got
No,
too
I would have taken mac and cheese. My next pick if
yeah,
you
all
hadn't.
right. Well, then I don't feel as bad, but I wanted to walk out of here with apple pie in a briefcase, and I will not be doing that. Although there is an apple pie like 20 feet from me in my kitchen that my wife made, so
Your wife makes a good apple pie.
she
I
does.
need it. I need it. All right. My next one, I'm gonna go with cornbread. I'm hitting cornbread. I'm getting
Cornbread was
my
on my list.
yeah. I'm hitting a good cornbread with like a honey sort of glaze on top of it, or even
Yeah.
just some butter. Just a good cornbread.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna stay in the yeast realm, and just get that solid dinner roll right
Yep,
there at 4-1. I probably would have taken dinner roll over cornbread, although cornbread is another one of those things. I don't know. I, Thanksgiving is not my favorite holiday, but there are certain things that hit better on Thanksgiving. Cornbread definitely one of those. It's a really
absolutely.
strong choice. I'm gonna just take the roll that's available to me and get my role player in the mix.
I hate you.
You just need a somebody to fit between your mains and your sides and
Yeah.
just, fill those gaps. So I'm gonna go with the dinner rolls.
So looking at mine, I don't have my main yet, and that was done intentionally because we do things a little differently here. We determined years ago in my married family here that none of us are really huge turkey fans.
Hmm.
We're all like, why are we doing this, right? It takes 8 hours to roast this thing. It's dry. I mean, obviously, if you're doing it right, it's not as dry. So my main actually is a roasted chicken. I do the
Hmm.
roasted chicken for us, and it is a garlic rosemary glaze that I put on top of that, and it is divine. I am absolutely obsessed. So my fourth round pick is going to be a roasted chicken as my main.
Man, I really don't know what to do here. I just feel so lost with that apple pie because I feel like
I
I feel like
derailed your whole draft.
I just feel like I'm gonna walk out of here without a dessert because I'm kind of like you. Like I don't dislike pumpkin pie. It's one of those again.
You
Like
might need to take it though, just
I hate to be a broken record, but it's like best on Thanksgiving. Technically, I could take my family makes this pie called a no-name pie. It's kind of like a Toll House cookie cake almost,
ooh,
but it's
okay.
not a cake. It's like a pie. But I
Sounds
don't
good.
want to take something so niche.
Why? It's your draft.
I know, but I would feel like a fraud. So I'm between apple cider, which is like a fall thing more than it's a Thanksgiving thing,
It's good
pumpkin
though.
pie. I wrote old fashioned down because I feel like an old fashioned on Thanksgiving hits, but
That's Cheyenne's favorite drink, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. I mean,
I
I
remember
love
that
an
from the
old
wedding
fashioned
bingo thing that
too.
you guys, or the crossword
Oh my
bingo,
God,
one of them.
man. That's crazy. That's a crazy pull. I appreciate that you played the crossword despite being in the wedding and being busy for most of it. I'm gonna take pumpkin pie. I can't say that
It's a good pick.
I can't say that I feel the best about it, but you know what? I'm filling out my squad. I need somebody to come in and pitch the ninth inning. I'm not asking for three for 9 outs. I just need three. Pumpkin pie can get me there.
Absolutely can. I'm between two here. I don't really think I can lose in this situation with either one. Um, I'm between like a creamed corn, which is always excellent,
Yeah,
but
that's good.
I'm gonna go ahead and as my official last pick, I'm gonna go ahead and take cranberry sauce. And this is a shout out to Mr. Tim Tooley. He is really one of the only people in the home that still is Team Cranberry. He is there for it every single year. We make sure it's out for him. So I want to make sure he's represented here as well. But I'm feeling excellent about my team right now.
All right, so let's go through. I have ham, potato casserole, mac and cheese, rolls, and pumpkin pie. I feel like that's a pretty well balanced feast. Jesse, what
Yeah,
you
it's a
got?
good will. I had mashed potatoes, apple pie, cornbread, roasted chicken, and cranberry sauce.
Yeah, those are two good feasts. Honestly, you can't go
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah,
Unless
can't go wrong.
my major beef with Thanksgiving, I think it's crazy to eat at like 2 p.m. and then like you just are expected to graze, but you're always doing something for the rest of the day, whether it's like watching the game
I'm sleeping.
or playing games. I'm just not a nap guy, so maybe that's part of my beef. But
Man, I am cooking all morning because I am 1A on the cooking list in my house.
I do have to shout out Cheyenne for a moment. A couple years ago, not last year, but 2 years ago. Cheyenne made every single item for Thanksgiving.
Wow.
It was like it took like 2.5 days. We basically lived at her mom's for like 2 days. And there's a famous story where I had gone to sleep one night because I like was exhausted from work. I think I'd worked like a really late night the night before or a really long day or something. And I was asleep and they set off the smoke detector and I woke up in the other room and could hear them talking normally, so I could tell that like it was just like smoke or something and it wasn't an actual fire. So I went back to sleep and I got roasted for that because they're like, you slept through the smoke alarm. And I was like, no, I woke up, I heard you guys weren't panicked and went back to sleep. And I got roasted for that.
Made a
Um,
business decision.
yeah, I was like, it seems like it's fine out there. I don't know. But I have a great photo somewhere of Cheyenne standing in front of like the 10 plus items that she cooked. Thanksgiving is her Super Bowl. So I shout out to my wife, man, like balling out at that holiday.
Absolutely. Well, Ben, as we wrap up this episode here, forever thankful for your friendship. You
Mm.
came into my life and never left. And we thank every single one of you watching because chances are, if you're watching this episode, you mean something to us significantly in our lives. So thank you so much for watching, and giving us a platform to speak and making us feel like we're important here, guys. We appreciate you. Um, have a great time with your family and enjoy each other. Life is short, so eat as much as you can.
Yeah, just real quick, just to kind of piggyback off Jesse, of course, I'm thankful for your friendship and everything you've done, not just for me, but myself and Cheyenne. And for those who don't know, Jesse was not only my best man at my wedding, but he took my engagement photos and he and his wife Ashlyn helped plan my proposal. He also took our day after photos in the ocean. He would have taken the photos the day of our wedding if I didn't meet him elsewhere. Um, and we talk all the time about how much we value and care for your friendship. Both you and Ashlyn means a lot to us. And I'm also thankful that not to get too sappy, but I'm thankful that we decided to do this. We talked
I
about
agree.
doing a podcast for a long time, and we make the jokes about like, we the podcast space needed two more white guys with the pod. Um, but it's just been really nice to spend this time talking ball with you. We do it already, and it's just been really fun to kind of do this together. We joke that like the only people that listen are our friends and family, and if that never changes, then it was still worth it to me because
Yeah,
it's just fun to spend this time with you.
yeah, absolutely is. I'm forever thankful for this time we get to spend together. Love you, brother, and
Mm. We
Thank
love
you
you.
guys for watching, and we will see you next week post Thanksgiving. And enjoy your holidays, guys.
Yes, no sports content today. Just go enjoy your family and hopefully you laughed and we'll see you next week.
Peace.